Alex Thomson broke a foil in the last Vendée Globe race and still had a classic battle with Armel Leclerc in Banque Populaire to still come in a close second. Last week he launched his new Hugo Boss and it looks every bit a weapon. Black with pink bits. We thank Alex for this footage. Welcome to the World on Water Global Sailing News. We are bringing this week's program to you from the North Sails Loft in Sydney. Hi, I'm Rob Brown. The last 7 days we saw the launching of the new York Yacht Club 75-foot America's Cup boat. Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron wins the Rolex Invitational Cup in the USA. Day 1 of the Kitefoil World Series in Pingtan, China. The GC32 Riva Cup on Lake Garda. And we go to UK, the International Moth on day 1. The Clipper Race, leg 1, London to Portugal. And finally, the Fin Masters go to Portugal. After 70,000 plus hours of fabrication and finishing work by the team at American Magic, their first AC-75 racing boat was officially launched last Saturday. Named Defiant, this cutting-edge foiling monohull is the first America's Cup class built to represent the New York Yacht Club in many years. The boat underwent initial testing on Narragansett Bay in Newport, Rhode Island earlier in the week. Defiant was constructed in Bristol, in Rhode Island, the site of many America's Cup boat building efforts since the Herreshoff Manufacturing Company's first Cup Defender, Vigilant, was launched in 1893. Defiant will continue to train in Rhode Island waters during the fall of 2019 before relocating to Pensacola, Florida for the winter. We now take a look at Defiant, foiling and tacking in Newport, Rhode Island. Still in Newport, Rhode Island, we look at the 2019 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup. Two very accomplished and motivated teams from the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron and San Diego Yacht Club battled it out for one of Corinthian sailing's most prized trophy on a very lumpy and windy Narragansett Bay. It all came down to the 12th and final race, separated by only 6 points, and in the end the Sydney crew came up trumps in a very exciting victory.
Today marked the conclusion of the 2019 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup here in Newport, Rhode Island. And as you'd expect, the overall championship came right down to the last race. After an amazingly sailed series, USA's San Diego Yacht Club went into the last day leading over Australia's Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron. But in race 10, they spun a penalty circle on the first beat and then unbelievably hit the top mark and fouled. San Diego rebounded, however, to win race 11. Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron taking 8th, opening the door for the lead once again. In the 12th and final race, Ireland's Royal Cork Yacht Club won, moving them into 3rd overall for the regatta. And despite an impressive second-place finish from San Diego Yacht Club, the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron stayed close enough in 4th to win the championship, with San Diego settling for 2nd place.
I think for us, because we're good and strong in pressure, and there was quite a lot of pressure in that last race, and we were just able to sort of get the boat rumbling, and Mike Dunstan, my main suit trimmer, and myself, and our other trimmer, Dave Edwards, you know, they just set up the boat so it's easy for me to sail. I can just punch the numbers out and just get it there.
The exquisite hospitality of the New York Yacht Club onshore was matched equally by the expert precision of the race committee on the water. And all 20 teams from around the world were treated to an amazing week here in Newport, Rhode Island, as the 2019 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup comes to a close. Special thanks to Rolex and all the regatta supporters, and congratulations to the winners, Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron. The 2019 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup is brought to you by Rolex, title sponsor and proud partner of the New York Yacht Club for over 60 years. This event is also sponsored by Helly Hansen and supported by North Sails and Team One Newport. The regatta is hosted by the New York Yacht Club, celebrating 175 years of yachting innovation and leadership.
France's Theo de Ramacourt stole the show on the opening day of the Kite World Series, the 3rd act on Pingtan Island, eastern China, when he got 2 bullets to edge his nose in front early in the regatta.
So we're in Pingtan for the 3rd stop of the World Series. Weather's pumping as always in Pingtan. We've got about 18 knots on the course right now. Everyone's getting set up, everyone's getting ready. All the top guys are here. Let's see if anyone can beat Tony.
Looks like we're going to have some wind in this event, so it's going to be interesting. My goal here now is to win as many races as I can, and hopefully those conditions are going to pay off for me. I think Tony is pretty impressive and I like his style, so I hope he's going to win if I don't.
I won 2 races today after some really nice fights with Tony Vodisek and Axel Mazella. It was really nice out there. We were riding on 15s. Tony Vodisek won the first 2 stops of the World Series, so he's a really strong opponent, but I will do my best to beat him on this one.
Team Oman Air showed determination and flair to dominate a thrilling final day of racing at the GC32 Riva Cup on Lake Garda, with the overall victory just eluding them by the narrowest of margins. Sadly, with the use of the tie-break system, the overall victory was handed to Alinghi. This was the second win of the season for Ernesto Bertarelli's Team Switzerland, following their victory at the GC32 World Championships in Lagos, Portugal, back in June.
Event for Lake Garda. Super tight on the table. We're going out there and fight for the win.
Hold.
Yeah, it's been fantastic racing here in Garda. The first day was rather tricky with the breeze up and down. Then it settled down a bit, and we had great breeze foiling conditions all week, and it's been really fun sailing.
The sailing performance today on the Oman Air team is like very high level, and we never give up. So last event, we're gonna show everyone how Oman Air is.
The GC32 Flying Catamaran was designed for adrenaline-seeking sailors, delivering ultra-high 40-knot speeds, the purest foiling experience. Despite the challenge of all the controls being manually adjusted, this boat is not just for top professional sailors. Among the team's owner-drivers fight and frequently win against the world's top teams.
The boat is incredible. The boat is a lot of fun. It's very fast. It makes everybody on the boat work.
It develops an amazing acceleration. When it starts foiling, it's a feeling of from another planet. I mean, the size of the boat and the weight of the boat, and when it develops the whole momentum.
I've been doing sailing for a long time. This is as good as it gets. I mean, seriously, I can't think of anything else I would want to do sailing-wise anywhere.
Jason Carroll and his Argo team started the second racing day in great shape, scoring a bullet and a third in the first 2 races, fighting neck and neck with the event's leaders. However, a 6th in the final race prevented the American team from improving their position in the overall rankings.
I mean, we had 2 very good starts, which helped us to win the first race and finishing third the second race. So it's a very tight fleet, it's a very short course, so you really need a good start to have a shot at the podium.
But it was the Adam and Noprio skippered Oman Air which achieved the day's top performance, coming second in race 1 and winning the following 2 races. Red Bull's sailing team with indifferent results dropped to 4th place overall, allowing the Omani team to climb from yesterday's 4th to 2nd place overall, 4 points astern of the current leaders, Alinghi. 1 point ahead of the Austrian team, Eric Maris and his Zulu team retained their position and will start the penultimate day of the GC32 Riva Cup in 3rd place overall.
Now to the foiling Moth at Castle Cove Sailing Club in Weymouth, England. There was some reluctance from the fleet to leave the car park and launch today as they looked out at white horses covering Portland Harbour. Once out there though, Dylan Fletcher showed why he is the favourite for this event, with only the USA's Brad Funk sticking with him upwind before Dylan hit the afterburners down the run to dominate the day.
Yeah, we knew the forecast was looking quite big and it certainly delivered. The first race was not too bad and the second race was right up there, the windiest sort of racing I've ever done, and plenty of swims, but a lot of smiles and a lot of fun.
That was the most full-on Weymouth bend the entire summer, actually. So, and we happened to have our first day of the Moth National, so it was pretty flat at the top. At the bottom was being like in an ocean. So, yeah, 2 different playgrounds. Well, Dylan and I were kind of crossing 1-2 at the top gate marks, and kind of splitting both races, and then didn't know it was a 3-lapper, and ended up flipping a couple more times on that 3rd lap, so dropped back. But overall, it was my boat stayed together. I've been working on it all summer, so I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big day. I was impressed that the race officer, you know, Bill Barker was pushing us to race, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of beer drunk tonight with when everyone's doing their boat work. There's going to be a few sore heads and broken boats.
The winners of the first stage of the Clipart 2019 race have crossed the finishing line in Portimao in Portugal. Punta Diez took line honours after racing 1,200 nautical miles from London against 10 other Clipper yachts.
Three, two, one.
We head to Portugal for the Fin Masters, and after a week of great sailing conditions, Saturday's forecast was to be the lightest and trickiest day of the championships for the 65 competitors representing 15 nations. In the end, the win went to Felipe Silva of Portugal, closely followed by Bas de Wal of the Netherlands.